Greetings, Tiger fans. It's that time again. We're back at basketball season as the Hardin County Tigers are hosting the Lawrence County Wildcats tonight in Makeda Welch Gymnasium, and it's going to be a terrific game tonight, a terrific season, and we've got a whole new regime to report as we lost a couple of head coaches and we're moving into a new era of new coaches.
Yeah, we lost many years of coaching experience. Of course, Coach Burnham coaching here 30-plus years, and then before that he was over in Camden, and you know, he's been a staple here for a long time, won a lot of basketball games, been to many tournaments, been to the state tournament recently. So Coach Kirk has some big shoes to fill, literally and figuratively. You know,
I like that.
Coach Burnham,
mix that word together.
Yeah, but anyway, it's going to be interesting to see a new style of Lady Tiger basketball as well. I guess Coach Ryan Geyer taking over for Coach Carpenter, and another new style of basketball on the men's side, even though both coaches work with Coach Burnham and Coach Carpenter throughout the last couple of years.
Yeah, they inherited some experience and exposure that I'm sure will definitely bleed into what they try to do as a head coach. But then again, you know, they're bringing in new blood. And I asked them the other day in practice, I said, you know, you guys have got quite a challenge on your hands, and what do you think? And they said, well, we're not only younger, we're better looking.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, there's got to be a little of that to come down the road here as well. And I know that the players, from watching them practice, they look like they're working well with the coaches. They're responding well to the instruction they're being given, and you know, they've got a tough nut to crack tonight. Lawrence County is a storied school with lots of athletic history that they're going to have to deal with. We've struggled with them in the past, and I don't see any reason why that would be any different tonight.
Well, last year they battled down to the final buzzer as Lawrence County hit a three-pointer right at as a clock hit 0 and defeated the Lady Tigers, and they've got some size and experience, like you said, a really good basketball program, a good basketball team, whereas we got some inexperience, even though we've got some girls out there that has played a lot of basketball, but that lot of basketball came last year. Of course, Reese Harville is going to lead the way for us. You got Haley Hardin that's back, that started last year, and I'm just looking out there, but we lost a lot. Bailey Gamble played a lot. And we lost, though, Haley Halleck inside, a huge presence, 6'1", 6'2". You can't replace that. She had an outstanding career. Faith Ann Shelby from outside and her three-point shooting. And I know I'm leaving some people out, but those two just come to mind that did a lot of, or had a lot of production for us. So I'm interested to see how this is going to pan out here early, because we got Lawrence County tonight. And then on Thursday night, we're going to be back here in action. Tishomingo County is going to be in here. I think they either were runners-up or won the state championship in Mississippi last year. So Coach Kirk said, you know, we got a really tough road here the first 20 games. He said, I don't mind if we go 10-10 as long as we're ready to play.
Come tournament time.
Well, come district time.
And that's all in late February. We don't play anybody until
we
late
don't play
February.
any district games until late February, and then we have 6 in a row.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a lot of fun no matter what. You know, it always is. And I said, as you said, there are a lot of ladies that left us last year that we're going to miss. Sarah Strickland is one of them. I don't know whether you mentioned Sarah.
Yeah, I did. Okay. I was trying to think of everybody.
Yeah, and it's hard. I want to make sure we
and she was one of the leaders too, and played a lot of point guard for us. Kind of ran the team. And I think that's what Reese is going to have to do this year. She's going to have to run the team.
Well, one of the things that Coach Kirk told me in a brief interview I had with him is that he's really going to has his eyes peeled and his ears tuned in to try to find someone that can stand in for Reese. He needs somebody to develop to become a ball handler so he can move Reese more down inside and get more scoring production out of her.
Well, that's the thing. When you have her out here handling the point guard duties, you miss her toughness inside, and she's really a driver, penetrator type player. And so we're going to miss that. But you got to have somebody get us started. And, you know, we do have some size. Atkins has got some size. She's grown a lot. Clara Callahan, she played a lot last year. She's a big body inside.
She got lots of good minutes, yeah.
It's just that we don't have that 6'1" that can move and jump and play like Haley. But that's not saying that we can't play with anybody. And, of course, I'm looking out there. Neely Barrier as well had a lot of minutes for Hardin County last year. So
Selena Churchill is another senior coming back. It's going to be
it looks like she must be injured. It looks like she's in street clothes down there. So
yeah, but both teams are on the floor right now. They're warming up and getting ready for tonight's tip-off for not only the games that are going to be held, but also the season that's forthcoming. So stay with us here on K93. We're going to take a word for our sponsors, and we'll come back with tonight's starting lineups. Lady Wildcats coming out off the bench during introductions. Cammie Pigg is one of the starters. Let's see, number 22, Emmy Clark. Number 30, that is J.C. Scott. Number 35 is Harley Johnson. And I'll have to get the other one when the lights come back up. They've brought the lights down, spotlights up, and we'll have the introduction of the Lady Tigers forthcoming. Cell phone lights ablaze on the other side of the court. First up, I can't get the number. That's, I think, Mackenzie Stanfield.
That was Harville. And Bailey Gamble and Atkins now.
Okay.
Haley Hardin.
I saw Haley Hardin. Several new faces coming out this year. Plus, I can't hear the Neely barrier. I can't hear the PA address, so I'll have to wait till the lights come up to be able to see who's who here.
That'll make it hard on
obviously, Reese Harville, as you mentioned, is led the pack out. Just didn't recognize the frame as she ran across the front. Also, Haley Hardin. Also, Ashton Davis. And I mentioned Neely. Hopefully we'll get everybody announced before we have the tip-off here. And we mentioned Bailey Gamble, so I guess we got them all on there. Jumping center is going to be Davis. And she will control the tap, but it's going to be stolen away by the Wildcats. I'll go down for a layup and get the first 2 points of the game, as picking up the first two is J.C. Scott. And Wildcats jump up. Down the floor they come. They go on the right wing. That's to Gamble. Gamble tries the three off the right. She got it. So Tigers will snatch the lead back. Now there's a whistle and a foul call. And it's going to be on Hardin, I believe. A little touch foul in the backcourt. Both teams looking like they're going with the press. With it now is Scott. Scott outside out of Clark. Lob inside. Going in for the layup. It's going to be up and good. Is Lainey Kate King, who was one of the starters that I didn't catch a moment ago. And the Tigers bring it down. With it is Harville at it. Head of the key. She goes on the left side. Now back to Gamble. Gamble to Harville. Harville backs it out towards center court. On the left wing. Inside. With it. Hardin for the three-pointer. Off the back rim. Fight for the rebound. Coming out with it. I thought Gamble was going to get it back, but it's going to be snatched away there by Pigg. Pigg down on the baseline, gets it over to King. King goes in, lays it off the glass, and scores. And it's 6-3 Wildcats early in the first. Harville dribbling outside, left hand goes on the right side, to the left rather, back to the right to Hardin. Now to Gamble. In the corner, here's a long three off the right. It's no good. Rebound taken down by the Wildcats. King comes up with it. They're running. Down the floor, they stop. Head of the key is King. I think if she'll turn where I can see her number. Yeah. Now, on the right side of Pigg. Pigg in the lane. Back out now to Scott. Scott dishes it out on the right side. With it now is Pigg. She's strapped in the paint. Finally pushes it back outside on the right wing. With it is Scott. Scott gets a pass over to a crossing Pigg, who tries to go in the left corner with it and throws it away. It's going to be tapped out of bounds by the Tigers. And the Wildcats very quickly get it back in bounds. 5:41 left to go in the first. 6-3 Lawrence County. Now at the high post on the left side is King. Down in the corner. to Pig. Pig lobs in, trying to get it down to the low post player, J.C. Scott. Scott's got a little height on her and definitely a strong player. There's a whistle and a foul called. And I didn't see who the foul was on.
That was on Barrier.
So Barrier picks up her first. That's the second team foul. And the Wildcats bring it in. They get it in the paint to Cook. Now over to a driving Scott, who missed the layup, went straight up untouched and just blew the layup. Now there's a jump ball as they come to the come for the rebound, and it's going to be out of bounds. Give it to the Tigers, the first nod on the held ball tonight. So the Tigers will bring it into the forecourt. They go to Harville. Harville tries to get it underneath. It's going to be blocked and brought down by the Wildcats. They're running. They go on the deep corner from the right side. Jumper is up and good. And Wildcats now jumping out to a little bigger lead, 9-3. Harville brings it across the timeline. Goes right side now to Gamble. Gamble double teamed, in trouble. Is going to have to call timeout. And they indeed did. So there's timeout on the floor. I'm sure this is a 30-second timeout. The Tigers trail 9-3. We'll be back after this. All right, starting out like a house of fire as both teams running with it. Both teams pretty free on the defensive side. Right now, Lawrence County's got the edge 9-3. Tigers need to get a couple of good looks at the three-point shot. Harville is dribbling outside as we come back from the timeout. Drives into paint, lobs it, tries to lob it underneath to Atkins and over lobs it. And it's out of bounds.
She may have had a flashback of Haley being inside.
Yeah. Here's a, they break the press as they get it across to Pig. Now to Clark. Clark tries it on the right side, low post, dishes it out. It's a three-pointer, it's off, no good. Rebound is going to be taken down, I think, by Barrier, but it's stripped away, and a whistle and a foul is going to be called.
Well, we're leaving a lot of wide open shots, and of course they've scored in the paint a couple of times with no pressure at all. So
not sure who that foul was on, but the Tigers come up and receive half-court pressure as they move into the forecourt. Now to Harville in the corner for three. She tries a long shot from there. It's going to be a little short. Rebound taken down, and Scott will lob it down in the corner. Here's a three off the right side. That is nothing but cotton.
Yeah, they beat us down the floor.
Harley Johnson comes into the ball game and promptly knocks down a three-point play or three-point shot. Down in the corner, they go to Barrier outside now, and Gamble will save it in there, but it's going to be into the hands of Lawrence County. They're going to get it at midcourt, get it over now to a three-pointer there by Scott. It's off, no good. Was that a? Did she tip that back in? Or
no, it was a foul. It was a putback, but a foul on Gamble.
Gamble picks up the foul as I saw the ball fall off. I thought perhaps it was going to be a Tiger rebound, but they got it back and scored and picked up the foul as well.
Well, right now they're just beating us down the floor. I mean, they're faster than we are and more aggressive, and it shows. They're up 15-3 here.
Pig is good on the three-point play, and it's now 15-3. 3:20 left to go first. Tigers down by a dozen. Passing from Barrier over into the left wing there, and it's tipped out of bounds before Hardin could get to it. It will be Tiger basketball. Went right into the student section. Now they get it over to Barrier. She's double teamed and in trouble at midcourt. She's going to have to call timeout, and they're burning them up with 3:03 left to go. Second timeout call. Tigers down 15-3. We'll take a 30-second pause. We'll be right back. Nice little crowd for the first game of the season tonight. Just coming off the football season. Congratulations to the Tiger football team for the accomplishments that they made this year. And they're all set to get started for next year. I'm sure they're already underway. Here at Harville on the left wing in the corner. Shot that is off by Davis is no good. Rebound taken down by the Wildcats. Tigers can't find the target. Wildcats drive in the paint, put up a 15-footer, no good. Rebound taken down by Harville. Harville over now to Barrier. Barrier way outside on the right now. Goes to Hardin. Left wing, 10 feet outside the three-point circle. She goes right, then left, now back to the right on the dribble. 2:20 left to go first. Tigers down 15-3. Harville now to Barrier. Hardin comes out, takes it from Barrier. Now they're around on the other wing now on the left side to Harville. Harville goes against Cook, puts up a one-hander, won't go, but there's a whistle, and they're going to call a charge on Harville. When it rains, it pours, and right now the Tigers have got their woes going here in the first quarter. They're down by a dozen with 1:52 remaining. Cook over now to King. King drives in the lane, puts up a layup and hit it. Laney Kate King gets her 6th point.
Well, that's where the size is hurting us, Bill. We don't have anybody inside right now that is putting up any kind of resistance.
Harville goes to Hardin on the left wing. Hardin drains a three-pointer off the left, but a whistle and a foul is going to be called first. It's going to be on Peyton Morgan, a sub. And the Tigers will take it in. They get it out now to Barrier. Barrier left wing to Hardin. Hardin comes directly toward center circle. Now back to Barrier in the corner now. Jumper up by Gamble's no good. Rebound taken down by the Wildcats. And here they come running. On the floor they go to Morgan. Morgan stops baseline. Bounce pass outside. Here's a three-pointer from the head of the key. No good. Rebound Harville. Harville. It was triple team. Got loose. Somebody's got to be open. Hardin goes down. Puts up the shot. Blocked. And I think it was Cook that blocked it. Long outlet pass. They get it down the floor to Morgan in the corner. I thought she was going to get a snowbird there for a second. But they'll take it into the right side. 42 seconds left in the quarter. Tigers down. Now by 14. On the left side, they go to Clark. Now with it, it's King. Right side to Morgan. Back side now to King. King drives the lane. Banks it home. Scores. She's got 8. And the Tigers have no answer. 12 seconds. 19-3. His Barrier gets it across the timeline. And now with it, it's Harville. Hardin back to Barrier at the buzzer. The shot is off, no good. And the first quarter comes to a close. 19-3 the score. We'll take a 1-minute pause here for a word from our sponsors. We'll come right back with quarter number 2. right, back here at McCaleb Welch Gymnasium, Bill Sharp along with Steve Carnell as we're bringing you tonight's Hardin County High School Tiger basketball games. Lady Tigers on the floor right now, and they're trailing 19-3. There's a snafu of mine on the score sheet. I had Lainey Kate King as the wrong number, and it was Katie Criswell, who is the girl with 8 points here. Now I stand corrected, and the Wildcats take it out with J.C. Scott handling the ball handling across the timeline. Out. Here's a long three-pointer that's off and no good by the Wildcats. Rebounds taken down there by Barrier. Outlet pass to Harville. Harville to Hardin. Harville back to Hardin at the head of the key now. On the right side, Atkins stops. Oh, that's Ashton Davis. I'm sorry. Now to Harville. Harville stops head of the key, gets it over to Hardin. Hardin sort of swerves around the circle, puts up a one-hander from the right side. No good. Rebound taken down by Scott. Scott's down the floor to Pig. Pig on the left wing draws it up. Pressured by Davis there. He gets it over to King. That's the problem. That three looks like a two to me.
We called a timeout, though.
They've called it a timeout on the floor now with 6:55 left in the second period. Tigers down by 16. We'll be back in 30 seconds. So the Tigers struggling here, down by 16 with just under 7 minutes to go in the half, and they called another timeout to make some defensive adjustments, I'm sure. And the Wildcats will inbound it. In they go underneath Criswell. Criswell turnaround jumpers up and good. So the Wildcats, Lady Wildcats, putting the Tigers in a deeper hole with every possession. Barrier lobs across, has it intercepted and stolen there by Pig. Pig will take it down for the layup. Missed it. Rebound put up by Morgan. No good rebound. There's a struggle underneath. This will end up as a held ball, I'm almost sure.
No, they called a foul.
And now
it could have been a held ball, but
I think this Keely Frazier was blamed for the foul there, and it will be Wildcat basketball. Criswell at center court. Dribbles down to the baseline, dribbles it right back out. Here's a three-point shot off and no good by Harley Johnson. The rebound is going to go all the way out in the corner, untouched, and it will be Tiger basketball. In the backcourt, just over 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Somebody just checked in, I didn't see. Davis said, oh, in comes Clara Callahan. So Callahan in for Davis now. And Harville will work it on the right side. She and Hardin play catch from wing to wing. And then finally, Barrier takes it to the center of the lane and ends up losing it out of bounds. It will batted out by the Wildcats. Give it to the Tigers. With it now is Gamble. Gamble double team. Gets it over to Barrier. Cross court. Hardin takes the three. It's off the back rim. Fight for it. Coming up with it's Cook. Or Scott, rather. Scott just stripped it away. Scott drives down the lane, takes the left-handed layup, put it up and in, unchallenged. That's the kind of thing that'll kill you. And right now it's 23-3. Tigers down by 20. Harville drives, free throw line, puts up a high banker. It's no good. Rebound taken down and cleared out by Criswell. She gets it underneath to, I get the number. I think that's going to be Pig. So Pig picks up another deuce, and it's 25-3. And there was a three-pointer by the Tigers.
Nila Berry.
Barrier gets the three-pointer, and that cuts the lead a bit. Gives the Tigers a little more breathing room, down 25-6. Down on the baseline, there's a jumper. It's up and good by Harley Johnson. And they got two of those right back. 27-6 now. Harville across the timeline. Goes to Hardin on the left side. Back to Harville. Harville just off the ear of the Tiger in midcourt. 4:15 left to go in the second. Barrier goes underneath, gets it underneath, and the shot's going to be up and good by Callahan, and she's fouled.
Good drive and penetration by Barrier, then got it over as they came over to stop her and left Callahan open. That was one of the easier baskets that we've got tonight. It's all been a struggle so far.
And Clara hits the free throw. And it's good to see some lights go up on our side of the board. It's been a long cold spell since that first three-pointer that we hit.
12 has come in for Hardin County.
In comes Mackenzie Stanfield for the Lady Tigers. Pass underneath. Criswell's jumper's no good. Rebound. Wildcat had it, slapped away, and then a whistle and a foul is going to be called, and it's going to send her to the line.
I'm glad that official's here, or we wouldn't have any fouls called. He's called everyone.
Bailey Gamble picks up the foul. Clark's going to go to the line shooting two. First shot is good. Second shot is also in the cotton. So 29-9 right now as the Tigers seek a method. The Callahan high post goes in the corner now. That's going to be to Stanfield. His ball stolen away. It's going to be picked up by the Wildcats. They're on the run. Down in the corner on the right side. With it outside now is Criswell. Down in the back to the corner, and a three-pointer put up, and boom. Cammie Pig gets a three there. And it's 32-9. Here's a pass that's going to be stolen away by Pig. Pig is going to run down, put the shot up, got it, and I thought there was going to be a foul, but they're just going to give Pig the basket. A couple of players either went to the floor or came close to it, but it's 34-9 now. Then Gamble lobs it under to Callahan, back to Gamble. With it now is Barrier. Here, a pass is going to be batted up and controlled by the Wildcats. Criswell will bring it down for them with 2:49 left to go in the half, leading 34-9. Wildcats in purple with gold. Tigers in white with maroon, as you would expect. Here's a three-pointer off the left side by Cole. It's no good. Rebound, fought for, and finally controlled. And they say, I think a Wildcat player stepped out of bounds as she gained control of the basketball, and that's going to give it to the Tigers. No. Now they're giving it to the Wildcats. I don't know what happened there. But inbounds, going to be given to Johnson. Johnson crosses the lane, goes in the corner now to Pig. Now Sophie Cole is into the game for the Wildcats. Going to be lots of substitutes coming in here, and yours truly is going to be lost as a goose. There's a drive toward the basket on the right side, and a whistle and a foul is going to be called. Emmy Clark is going to be fouled. She'll be going to the line to shoot two. First shot's off, no good. 2:17 remaining. And she'll get the second basket, and then will be Tiger basketball in the backcourt. Across the timeline will be Gamble. She's playing catch with barrier outside. Tigers spread it out a little bit. Harville is off the floor now. Here's a three-pointer put up and good by Bailey Gamble. She gets the three and cuts this Wildcat lead to 23. Now Scott over to Cole. Cole has it batted away there. Reaching in is Mackenzie Stanfield. A good defensive play, but the Wildcats get it back. And they're working outside. Scott drives in the paint, splits a double team, goes up, lays it off the glass, and there you have it. So she's got 6 tonight, and the Tigers trail by 27. Down on the action end, here's a three-pointer. It's off and no good by Stanfield. Rebound taken down by the Wildcats, and they're off to the races. They stop. Scott takes a three-pointer off the left. No good. Rebound, Wildcats. Back to Scott. Now there's a whistle and a traveling call. We'll give it to the Tigers with 58 seconds left to go here in the first half. So far, the Lady Tigers have run into a buzzsaw. On the right side, underneath now, they get it to Callahan, but she loses it into the corner. Saved there by Hardin, and Hardin, I think, bounced it off a Wildcat shoe into the student section there in the left corner. And the Tigers will take it out with 43 seconds left to go in the half. Into Callahan. Now there's a jumper up that's off, no good.
She walked.
Caught her walk. I didn't see whether it was 3 seconds or what, but there will be a turnover. Nonetheless, give it to the Wildcats with 39 seconds left, and I got a feeling they're not going to hold it for one. 37-12 now. And outside, Scott is dribbling inside the circle. Finally makes a little penetration and goes off on the right side. Back to Scott. 17 seconds now. She'll dribble out. And Scott goes to the right side. Kicks it over now to Criswell. Underneath, it's stolen away. Coming out with it is Callahan. Callahan over to Gamble. Here's a three-pointer at the buzzer. It's off and no good by Hardin. And that is the end of the first half of play. And the Hardin County Tigers will go into the locker room trailing 37-12. Lots of good things happening here tonight with the Tiger fans coming out and supporting them. Lots of people have come from Lawrence County to view the game tonight, so it's a good start to a good season. Just hope we can answer some questions at halftime.
Well, you can tell lack of experience, even though Reese has the most experience out there. Haley played some last year in a starting role, but the rest of the girls playing supporting roles last year for most of the season. And a couple of young girls that are still out there, too, that have played some. So that part, yeah, it's a typical first game. But Lawrence County, like we said, they're a really good basketball team. You can see it tonight. They played together for a while. They're aggressive. They're taking it to us. And the thing is, you can play a little defense. And we haven't played a whole lot of defense on our end. And they've got some easy baskets. They've hit some threes. But what they're doing to us out here, they're wanting to extend us out and kind of get us into the corner so they can trap us. And they've done that very successful. And then that's when that inexperience comes out. We're not really moving the ball. We're moving a lot, but we're really not moving the basketball and doing anything. We're keeping it out on the perimeter. And, of course, I knew that Haley not being here, that was going to be a tough thing to overcome. Now, will it happen by the year end? Hopefully so. But Right now they're abusing the paint on us, and it's because we don't have the size.
Well, I had it from a reliable source, and I wasn't going to bring it up until I watched her play. But it turns out that Reese's injury that she received in the last game of the season last year has returned. And she's working with some muscle tears in her leg, and she's had to lay out some, and she's really struggling with that. And she was put on the bench a good deal of the second period tonight, so I'm hoping that's not what that is.
Well, I think she's got a hamstring issue going on right now that she got in the last week or two, but she can tough it out. She's tough. She can. She'll do what she can to kind of gut it out here, but it is the first game. And, we always talked about basketball, especially with Coach Burnham. This is basketball season is a marathon. Nobody's trying to get in a hurry to get somewhere. It's a long season, and these games are just games to help you prepare to get you into your district, because that's where it's important, and that's what gets you into tournament play and hopefully a run. I'm sure they're disappointed in their start here, and Coach Kirk in his first half of basketball as a head coach, but they'll get it together. They've got some good athletic girls, and they've just struggled a little bit. But, Bill, we struggled a little bit last year at home shooting the basketball.
Oh, no, I don't think anyone's implying that this is going to be the be-all and end-all of what's going to happen to this team. It's not the auspicious start that they wanted, but, there's some things that are going on down there that might feed into that. And I think Reese's injury was really bothering her tonight.
Well, they'll get it together. They'll go in halftime. They'll make whatever adjustments that they need to make. But the thing you want to get out of this game, you want to put up some fight here in the second half. And run some things that you've been working on, and hopefully get back in this ball game. Now, it's going to take quite a bit for us to get back in this game, because I don't think Lawrence County is going to just completely get shut out. So,
well, sage that you are, I will not argue. Halftime score: Lady Tigers trailing 37-12 at the hands of Lawrence County. We'll take a pause here for a word from our sponsors, and we'll come back after this. Stay with us here on K93.
welcome back to Michaela Welch Gymnasium. While you were on your phone over there, I don't know what you were doing, but
posted the score.
Yeah, 37-12 is our score here at halftime of Lady Tigers. I want to remind you, Sports Talk Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and Coach Kirk will be in, Coach Geyer will be in. We'll talk about tonight's game and the game on Thursday with Tishomingo County, and get you set for next week as we're off and running here. The first 4 games here at Michaela Welch Gymnasium. Of course, we're going to pay for it later as we'll go on the road a bunch. But we got also a lot of football to talk about, as several Hardin County Tiger football players received honors this week, all region teams, and we'll go over that and talk about that as well, as they ended their season last Friday night in Nashville over at Pearl Combe. But an outstanding season, like Bill said, and 15 seniors that played their last games, and it's kind of tough, isn't it, Bill? You've been there and watch these kids that start out as freshmen and then watch them play their last game. And
well, the transition is so apparent when you look at the physical and mental side of a freshman coming into a program, and then what comes out when they're seniors. There's no comparison. And it is a growth that it's hard to put it into a quantity, but it's an obvious thing that you can see. They come in kids, they come out men.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun to do. Can't wait till next season, but we got basketball now as the Lady Tigers trail. But I don't know if you noticed on the schedule, we got several new teams this year that we're playing. We got Camden on the schedule, Corinth, Mississippi on the schedule, Fayette Academy is on the schedule this year. Our old rival, Dyer County, is back on the schedule. Love that trip over there.
Yeah, looking forward to that one.
So several teams that are good basketball teams, good basketball tradition, just like Lawrence County here, that are on our schedule. But Coach Kirk and Coach Geyer kind of wanted to beef it up a little bit, and maybe that'll help get them in the right direction as they get closer to region play.
Well, there's no question that practice makes perfect, and there's a lot more games on the schedule this year than there were last year. So we're playing more, and we're playing. I think we've moved up the notch a little bit in the quality of teams that we're playing, and in the long run, it might be as far as next year, but it's going to improve our team for the future, and anything you can do to do that is good. You just got to keep your head up and not let things get you down when you have a game like tonight where things just kind of run away on you. You got to focus on learning a lot more than you do just on winning.
Yeah, and too, we're in a good competitive district where all the teams are pretty much equal. I don't think there's a team that stands out any more than the other. Now, on the other side, when you throw South Gibson and Southside in the mix, as we saw last year, even though the Tigers, the Lady Tigers defeated South Gibson over there in the region and worked their way into the sectional at Creekwood, where that was a really good game. It was a good game for us. We were like up in the upper deck of the nosebleed section doing that game, but Lady Tigers had a really good first half, and then Creekwood just couldn't miss, kind of like tonight, just couldn't miss a basket. But that's kind of a program that we have here, and what people expect, and so I'm looking forward to the second half and looking forward to the adjustments that are made.
No doubt about it, Chief. And it's 37-12 as the clock winds down here at halftime, and we're going to have the second half starting for you here in just a minute. You didn't mention the fact that it's probably going to take me about 4 games to get back in the saddle after laying out since last March. It'll to get the juices to flow. It's kind of a transition every year just for that. So I guess all we can do is the best we can do. So we'll just work it out. Tigers gym floor has been redone over the season and refinished, and it looks really good. The gymnasium looks great. This is one of the best places I can think of to play high school basketball. Tigers will have it to start the second half. Here's the inbound pass. It's going to go to Barrier. Barrier back to Harville. Over to Hardin. Hardin on the left wing. Down in the corner. Back to Harville at the head of the key. She'll go under. Passing underneath to Davis. Davis shots up. It's no good. Blocked and taken down there by Criswell. She'll get it down to midcourt. And now there's a player on the floor, and I think it's Harville who went to the floor to retrieve the basketball. And I think they called traveling on the steal, and it's going to be Wildcat basketball. I didn't see an official signal out.
Well, she had the ball, and they ended up with it. So
I'm sure it's probably a traveling call. But Wildcats working on the perimeter, and they get it on the left side now. Now to Scott. Scott in the corner, and a long three-pointer put up by Cammie Pigg. That is good. Pigg with 16 tonight. 40-12. Now the Tigers go to Hardin, left side. Can't get the three away. Goes to Harville back at the head of the key. On the right side now to Clark, or rather to Gamble. Now to Hardin. Hardin drives, has the pass to the goal, lays it up and in. Nice move by Haley Hardin, and she gets on the board tonight for the first time. Wildcats airmail it down the floor to Pigg. She'll scoot it underneath, and it's kicked out of bounds by Clark, but a whistle and a foul is going to be called.
Yeah, on Davis. She got on top of her back there instead of going around.
It's going to be on Davis, and Wildcats will take it out. 6:36 left to go in the third. Criswell, three, dead away, man.
Can't leave her open.
She can play. Harville brings it down the floor. Reese scoreless tonight. Shows you how hard a time the Tigers are having them. Here's a pass that's going to be batted away by the Wildcats out of bounds. Give it to the Tigers right in front of the Tiger bench. With it now is Barrier. Barrier is going to be tied up at the head of the key, and it will be Tiger basketball on the alternation. Now Harville having trouble getting it in, gets it in to Davis. Over to Hardin. Back. Now to Gamble. Now to Barrier. In the corner. Gamble with it to Barrier. Barrier drives, stops. Almost to the baseline. Bounce passes it out to Harville. Harville gets it over, and a shot by Hardin's off, no good for three. Rebound taken down. Criswell running. Stops at the line, kicks it to the left side. Here's a three-pointer. It's off, no good. That had a chance to go, and it didn't. Now they get rebound is going to be loose out to the three-point circle, and with it momentarily was Scott. Now it goes back underneath. Now back to Scott. She'll try the three off the back rim. Rebound. It's going to be taken down by Harville. Reese Harville across the timeline. Goes on the right side. Gets it over there to Gamble. Now to Barrier. And now to Harville, who penetrates, dishes out to Hardin on the left side. Her three-point won't go. Rebound Gamble. Trapped on the baseline. Gets it outside now to Harville. Now to Hardin from the right side. Drives the lane. Puts up a left-handed hook shot. Won't go. Rebound taken down by the Wildcats. Down the floor they come. Criswell, right side. And that's Scott for three. Wildcats with the rebound. He's a three off the left side. Up and good. And Cammie Pigg gets another three. She is filling it up with 19. 46-14. And the Tigers work outside a tough 2-3 Lawrence County zone. They work outside. Hardin to Barrier to Davis. Back to Barrier. Stolen away by the Wildcats. Off to the races goes Pigg, and she has it batted out of bounds as she gets it into the forecourt, and it will be Wildcat basketball right on their bench. As Johnson sits down, and I think in came Morgan. Here's a pass underneath. Criswell gets a turnaround jumper on the low post left side, and she nailed it. 48-14. My math's beginning to break down. I know that's 34 points, but I have to think about it. Tigers work the perimeter again. What looks like a 2-1-2 now, probably more like a 2-3. And now here's a shot off the left side for three by Neely Barrier, and she knocked the bottom out. 48-17. Emmy Clark gets it into the forecourt to Scott on the left side. Shot by Criswell, no good. Rebound put up, won't go. Follow again. Another follow misses. They got 4 shots at the basket. None of them went, but they're going to end up drawing a foul. One of those two things are going to happen when you get that many rebounds, offensive rebounds. I think that's Harville who was whistled for the foul. To the line goes Emmy Clark. First shot is off, no good. 3:06 remaining, third period. Second shot rattled home, and it's 48-17. 49-17, sorry. I'm watching the scorekeeper, and he's late. Harville dribbles across the timeline as we hit 3 minutes in the quarter. Drive, stops about 6 feet away, can't go, gets it outside. Here's I think a two-pointer that's going to be off, no good. Rebound as going up with the shot was Gamble. The rebound is going to be, and I think the foul is going to be on Barrier.
No, it's Gamble. Her third.
Okay, her third.
Reese is out, Stanfield back in.
Okay. Now with it is Scott. Tigers put on full court pressure. They get it over now. The Wildcats, that is, get it over to King. They try to go to Criswell. She has it, backs up to the circle, drives down the lane, puts up a left-handed layup, missed it, but a whistle and a foul is going to put her on the line, shooting 2. 2:30 remaining. That's going to be Gamble's 4th foul. Criswell to the line, has filled it up all night and missed the free throw. She shrugs a bit, takes it back, a couple of dribbles, and drained the second shot. 50-17. 2:30 left to go, third. So we said we got Tisha Mingo coming in on day after tomorrow. As Gamble works it down in the corner now on the left side. Stanfield puts up a 2-pointer. It's no good. Rebound, Wildcats. They save it down the floor. There's a collision there as Hardin runs into Cook, or rather King. Now the Wildcats retrieve it, get it down on the baseline. The jumper's up. It's no good. Whistle and a foul. Not shooting is going to be called on Callahan. And with 1:55, the Wildcats will take it out underneath their own basket, right side. Cole in the corner now to Scott. Scott cross court, left side now. Lob down on the baseline, driving. I think it's Criswell. She put a shot up, no good, and struggle for the rebound. And say a Wildcat stepped on the line, and I think that was Morgan rather than Criswell who tried that shot. It will be Tiger basketball in the backcourt with 1:40 remaining. Across the timeline, dribbling is Gamble. Bailey Gamble. She's a senior. Now to Stanfield. Back out to Barrier. Neely, who's a junior. She drives in the circle. Goes up for the shot, missed it a little too high. Rebound taken down by Scott. Scott's running down the floor, and Clara Callahan came from behind and knocked it out of bounds. As Scott was, I think, headed for a layup, and Callahan adeptly stopped that threat. Wildcats will have the basketball with 1:10 remaining in the third period. On the left side, Pig with it outside. She goes into the left corner. That's Scott, J.C. Scott. Morgan now over to Pig, who's gone right side. Now they're on the left side as they whip it around the horn. 45 seconds. Driving down, kicking it out for the three-pointer. Shots up and good. Lainey Kate King drains a three from a couple of feet outside the three-point line. Driving under goes Barrier. She tries to get it underneath to Callahan, but it's batted away, loose ball. They're going to give it to the Tigers on the inline with 28 seconds remaining. Finally, they get it in. With it now is Barrier. Barrier drives, goes over on the right side. Here is a shot there by Stanfield. It's off, no good. Rebound, fought for. Wildcats come up with it, and now there is a whistle. I don't know what happened. I think they called hell ball. I don't know, but they're going to give it to the Wildcats. I didn't see a foul call. 13 seconds now. Let's try to set up for one shot here. Here's a three-pointer of 9 seconds. It goes out of bounds. It will be saved in by the Wildcats right into the knees of Barrier, who couldn't handle it, and the Wildcats will have it with 4.5 seconds remaining. And it will be. Did they call timeout? They have called timeout with 4.5 seconds remaining. 52-17 the score. We'll take a 30-second pause and we'll come right back. All right, Tigers start the. Well, we've got 4.5 seconds left. We're going to go back to the huddle. Into the game for the Tigers is Molly Pierce. She's a junior. Here's inbound. It's going to be stolen away and picked up by Stanfield and into the forecourt, but not enough time to get a shot off.
It was a wasted timeout.
That is the end of the third period. Tigers trail at 52-17. We'll be back in 1 minute. One more to go. The Lady Tigers trailing 52-17. As if you just joined us, the Lawrence County Lady Wildcats jumped on the Tigers early and have not let up yet. And it has been a long night for everyone in Tigerland so far. Starting quarter number 4, the Tigers will have the basketball. Barrier will dribble across the timeline. Gets it over now to Stanfield. Shots up, no good for 3. Callahan with the rebound, gets it out to Hardin. Now to Barrier. Barrier circles from left to right. Gets it over now to Pierce. Now Pierce has it on the left wing. She drives in the lane. She's going to go up for a shot, I think. Lost the handle, and it will come down. There will be a whistle and a foul called on the Wildcats. That's on Tennant, who's checked in for the Wildcats. Cabry Tennant. And to the line goes Molly Pierce, shooting 2. First shot is in and out, no good. Couple of dribbles. She'll try the second one, and this one's off the back rim. Callahan with a follow, no good. Rebound taken down by Pierce. Outside now, here's Hardin for 3. It's off, no good. A whistle and a foul is going to be called on the Wildcats on the rebound. I think that's going to be on Frazier. He either said 23 or 22. I can't tell. But it will look like they called intentional foul. So Pierce goes to the line with 2 more opportunities to score, and she hit the first one and the second one. So she gets, and it will be Tiger basketball. Following the intentional foul. Callahan outside now to Pierce. Pierce on the left wing to Hardin. Hardin runs right straight into a Wildcat player. Now they get it over to Barrier. Barrier out. Here's a 3-pointer put off and no good by Pierce, and it's going to be tapped out of bounds off of a Tiger, so give it to Lawrence County in the backcourt. 6:09 remaining. And I'm thinking the clock's probably going to run the rest of the game. Tennant across the timeline. Underneath, shot put up by Morgan's no good. Rebound and a whistle. And I think they're going to call this one on Callahan, her second. And Peyton Morgan shooting 2 free throws. First shot is up and no good. Wholesale substitution for the Wildcats. We will try our best to track them down. A couple of substitutions for the Tigers too. And Morgan goes 1 out of 2 on this trip to the line. And it's 53 to 19. Dribbling down for the Tigers is Barrier. Barrier stops, and she's going to get called for traveling. She stopped a little too quick going down the left side of the lane and drug her pivot foot. Wildcats work up against the press. Here's a steal. Gamble has it. Is she going to be able to maintain it? No, there's a timeout called. Really heads-up play by head coach Brandon Kirk right there in front. Made the call for a timeout and saved the Tigers a possession. So with 4:40 left to go here in the fourth period, we'll take a 1-minute pause. We'll come right back. Tigers go against substitutes for the Wildcats, and taking it right straight to the glass is Ashton Davis, and she gets a bucket there just as we were coming back on the air, and it's now 53-21. And the Wildcats work it up the floor. They get it over to Staggs, Isabella Staggs, I think. And now here's a long three-point shot. It's off, no good. Rebound taken down by Callahan. Davis with it now. The barrier underneath. Shots off, no good. As I think that was Hardin that missed that shot. It might have been Callahan. But Tigers get the rebound, and they're working it outside. Davis drives the baseline. She's going to get stopped midair. And I think they're going to call I don't know if they were calling a charge or what. The clock is running in timeout, so. It's been a hard night and a rude awakening for the Lady Tigers here, but sometimes it's good to be awakened up early. 3:12 now. The Tigers have it, possession with it. Barrier to Davis. Here's Hardin, rather. Now a jumper up and no good by Gamble. The rebound's going to be taken down by the Wildcats, and they're running. Driving down, going in for an easy layup, unchecked practically, is number 3. That's Sophie Cole. She gets a deuce. And it's 55-21. And Davis goes from right to left, gets it underneath, and Callahan gets the rebound and lays it up and in. So Clara gets her 5th point. And now there's wholesale Tiger substitutions. In comes Somali Pierce. In comes Hannah Miller. In comes, I'm going to have to turn a bit. McKaylee Stanfield. Here's a shot that's off, no good. Kylie Jo Ramsey, transfer, joined the team this year, is in for the Lady Tigers now. Also, as the ball is out of bounds in the corner, I think I said Hannah Miller. I hope I don't forget someone here. Riley Strickland. The last of the 3 Strickland sisters. And, of course, a mother that played a lot at Hardin County High School. So, the Tigers take a shot from the Wildcats take a shot from the baseline. Off, no good, tipped out of bounds. They're going to give it to Wildcats with 1:17 remaining. Inbounds, jumpers, off, no good. Rebound taken down by Stanfield. She dribbles into the forecourt, goes over to Strickland. Now to Pierce, to Ramsey. Ramsey underneath, can't get it to fall. Rebound, Wildcats. Double team down there. Looks like number 14, Cabry Tenen, is going to be sort of pushed around there. I think they're just going to. Now they're going to call her for traveling. Tigers will get another shot at it with 38 seconds remaining. I know these young players want to get some points on the board. Ramsey in the corner on the right side. Outside now to Pierce. 25 seconds now. Riley Strickland dribbles with it. Gets it over now to Stanfield. Back outside to Strickland. Now to Pierce underneath. Shots up and good by Ramsey. Kylie Jo Ramsey picks up her first 2 points as a Tiger. And the Tigers get a steal in midcourt, coming up with it right at the buzzer. As it crept down on me and the clock went off as McKaylee Stanfield was going in for a layup. Thus the final score will be forevermore 55-25. And Lady Tigers will just have to bandage this wound and look forward to Thursday night.
Yeah, they tough opening night. Like you said, the whole thing's new coaches, some younger players that are getting their first start. And, this is probably not the kind of team that you would like to schedule to open your season with. Lawrence County, as they were an outstanding team, shot the ball very well outside, really aggressive defensively, really aggressive offensively as well. And we'll learn from this and get better. And, we got another chance again on Thursday night.
No doubt. So, the final score is the Lady Tigers fall by a score of 55-25, right?
That's
not looking at the score. They've taken it off the scoreboard. And let me see if I can. I'm almost certain that's what it is, but
yeah, it is.
Yeah, 55-25. So that's first game's over. Don't forget we got more basketball action for you tonight as the Tigers take on Wildcats in the nightcap. So stay with us here on K93. We'll be back after these words from our gracious sponsors.
All right, welcome back to Michaela Welps Gymnasium. I'm Steve Cornell along with Bill Sharp, bringing you Hardin County basketball opening night here for the Tigers. As Lawrence County is in town, Lawrence County made the short trip west and to take on the Tigers. The Lady Tigers were defeated 55-25 in game number one. And lo and behold, I asked Bill before I even looked out in the crowd, I said, you think Rory will show up? And I looked over there, and there you were.
You can't get rid of me.
You've been eating good, I know that.
I
since
eat well. I've always eat well, man.
Well, let Let me ask you this. This is kind of an unusual deal where you have two head coaches that retired at the same time, two new coaches coming in. A good nucleus for both teams, but really not a lot of starting experience except for one or two.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, I knew when it was time for me to go ahead and give up the reins, and I knew that we had the right guy doing it, and I kind of wanted to do it at a time where I felt like that he had a good nucleus of guys that he felt like he could work with. If anybody can do it, I knew Coach Ryan Gower could do it. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how they've matured and developed, and a lot of them's got a year behind them, and I know some of them are overcoming some injuries that we had last year, and others like Big Red and so forth are getting out of football, and I'm just looking forward to see how well they play, and I couldn't resist it. My wife Michelle and them are playing their home opener tonight against a big rival, but she told me, she said, hey, go watch your group play. If she'd have been a head coach, it might have been a harder decision, but her being the assistant is a little bit easier, and I'm glad I'm here, and I'm looking forward to the game.
Well, how do you think you would do, or how you think Coach Geyer is going to do as far as we lose our point guard from last year, Marlon Yarbrough, with 4 years at point guard, and kind of the leader of your team. We kind of went as he went. So you're replacing your point guard. Another year with Caleb McGee with some size inside, a little bit more size really with him, and I'm looking at Carter down there as well. You got a couple of kids 6'4" and better that typically is not what we usually have.
True. Like I say, I talked with Coach Geyer through the season. We tried to stay in touch at least once a week, sometimes maybe twice, but he had told me about how he was really impressed with how they've developed. Of course, Carter and Caleb and Tylen being in football, I knew that it'll be a process for them to get back into the rhythm of basketball, but those three will do well. And I know they've got Ben Benson that's also joined us. And Ben does a great job. These are great kids, and I'm looking forward, to having it, to watching them. Of course, you got Wheeler back, and Tanner's back well. We had that the Achilles tendon, I think, problem last year, and just so many others but they're great kids, and having this year behind them is going to make a big difference. They've had a year to develop. They've had we had some growing pains last year, but I thought we wound up at the end of the year really playing well, and I'm hoping that's going to continue as we go into the beginning of the year. But it's like I told Coach Geyer before I came here, I said, man, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish, and it's all about February, and I just believe we'll be ready when that time comes.
Well, we got a lot of hype about a young freshman coming in here, Jackson Burdine, and the Burdine name itself with Hardin County Basketball with Justin, his dad. An outstanding basketball player here, went on and had a great career at Murray State. And everybody always said, especially, you guys in the coaching rank, 3 or 4 more inches, get him 6'3", 6'4", and he may have been in the pros.
Yeah, and he's a tremendous young man. I got to see him again when I came in earlier and told him about his dad and how his dad used to use and abuse us when I was at Hatton. We played them, of course, that one year when they had the really good team here, and I knew that if he had any of his blood in him, he was going to be a young man that's going to develop, and Coach Geyers really spoke highly of him. So
they say he can shoot the basketball. I'm excited about seeing him. And Tanner Davis as well that you just mentioned. He's probably grown a couple inches or so. Yeah. He's probably 6'3", 6'4". Yeah. Really good athlete. And, last year, you talking about him coming off that injury, when we were over there playing Southside, he kept you in that game in the first half.
He sure did. And, that's one of the things that Coach Geyer told me about. Said we're really He feels like that we're going to be able to shoot the ball a lot better. We're going to be good at the triangle positions where, we're going to be able to just not have to be able to be limited to one side. And if we get hot, there's no telling how good this group can be. But I don't want to overemphasize it. I know it's going to be a process, a learning curve, especially with these young men that are starting now to take it into their own. I know Duke Sample, he talked about a lot about Duke, and of course he's got Garrett that's going to probably come off the bench for him, and other guys that have contributed some for us. And I'm looking forward to just seeing how well they gel as a team and grow. And I'm thankful that I got here to see this home opener, to see where they are.
Well, I know I've got to ask you this question. In your heart of hearts, you want us to win, but do you want Ryan to struggle just a little bit?
that could be further from the truth. I'm looking. That young man was a blessing to me. I'm thankful I was able to coach him my first year here, and I'm looking forward to him really doing well. I knew when he was my assistant how knowledgeable he already was. I've told you this. We've talked about it before. He's 10 years ahead of his time, and the kids love him. They respond to him, and I'm looking forward to seeing how well they react to him tonight.
I'm dreading interviewing him because he's into all that analytics. He's probably
He's well above my head.
What are you talking about? Me and Rory, we were talking about chicken and biscuits and stuff. So. But anyway, hey, thanks for coming up.
Hey, Steve, it's good to be here. I love Hardin County, and I'm excited about the year that they're going to bring.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right, brothers.
All right. We'll be back right after this for the opening tip here in the men's game. It's Hardin County, Lawrence County.
All right, the teams have completed their warm-ups, and the introduction to starting lineups comes right now, and Blake Taylor will be starting for the Wildcats. Also, T.J. Gobble. It's an all-Thanksgiving name. Cade Schultz, wearer number 22. Logan Boswell. And their numbers are a lot easier to see than their female. And the last one, they turn the lights on the last one every time. And I didn't catch it, so I'll pick it up when we come back. Darkness descends in Michaela Welch. The spotlight comes up and searches the floor for the first starter. And, of course, Taylor Couch is going to be introduced as usual as the number one Tiger fan forever. And first off is Wheeler Wilkes, or rather Duke Sample. Now Wheeler Wilkes. And J.T. Smith. Nathan Nesbitt, I think.
That's Tanner Davis.
Tanner Davis. Okay, well, I can't see the numbers and hear the names.
Kayla McGee.
And then, of course, Kayla McGee. So, those are your 5 starters for the Tigers, and I'm trying to find that elusive fifth player for the Wildcats. And I think it's Luke Maddox. Yeah, now I see it's Luke Maddox. The toss is going to be controlled by the Wildcats. We're underway here. First quarter. Nightcap game tonight. Lady Tigers fall in the first one in case you missed it. Maddox works it on the left wing to Stevenson. Now back to Boswell. Working the perimeter. Tigers in a sagging zone. Here's a jumper from the baseline, or a circle. It's no good. Rebound taken down by the Wildcats. Going over the shots. Boswell, his shot's blocked. I think this McGee got that blocked. Here's a three-pointer off of a loose rebound, and it's going to be tapped out of bounds as they go for the next rebound, and it will be Wildcat basketball on the baseline. Inbounding, and we're taking it inbounds with Boswell. Down on the baseline. Outside now, that's Stevenson. Here's a three-pointer off the left side. It's up and good by Luke Maddox. Boy, he knocked the bottom out of that one. And the Wildcats take the early lead. Tigers with Sample, bringing it across the timeline, getting it over to J.T. Smith at midcourt. On the left side now to Tanner Davis. Now to Samples. Back to Davis. He penetrates, splits a double team, gets it back to Sample. Sample in the corner. Here's a long three. It's off and no good by Wilkes. Rebound Wildcats. 6:30 left to go. First period, 3-0 Wildcats. Here's a three-pointer off the right side. It's off, no good by Stevenson. Rebound taken down by Smith. Smith down to Wilkes. Gets it back in the circle, goes on the left wing, and they're going to call him what?
Yeah,
travel?
he drug his foot.
I thought it was a travel, but hoping he'd get away with it. It will be Wildcat basketball in the backcourt. And the Tigers trail 3-0 at this point. Working up against token pressure is Maddox. Gets it over to Stevenson. So I try to acclimate some of these names. Here's a strip stolen away by Smith. He comes out with the basketball and gets trapped in the backcourt, loses the handle. It's going to be picked up there by Gobble. Gobble over and trying to slide it underneath the basket goes Schultz, but he kicked it out of bounds, lost control of it. So Kate Schultz unsuccessful. A couple of substitutions in. Blake Long in for the Wildcats, and we'll see what the other one was. I hadn't tracked it down yet. But the Tigers take it out. Full court pressure. Light. Samples double teamed at midcourt. Gets it over now to Smith. Smith underneath the McGee. Hook shot inside. Got it. Yes. We do a lot of that. The Tigers are going to be successful. He just drifted from left to right, turned and hooked it, and it's a 3-2 game. Wildcats up by one. Driving and a jumper is off, no good by Gobble. Rebound taken down by McGee. McGee gets it over now to Smith. Smith double teamed in the backcourt. Gets it to Sample. Sample gets it across the timeline. The Tigers set up shop. 5:06 left to go first. They're down 3-2. Smith handling the ball, handling charge, doing a great job with it. Gets it over now to Wilkes. Wilkes backs out. Here's a long three-pointer off the left side. It's off and no good by Davis. It will now be a long shot there by Wilkes. It's no good. Rebound's taken off by the Wildcats. Long outlet pass down the floor, going in for a fairly easy layup there. Blake Long gets two. And the Tigers got caught. Got beat down on defense. Smith on the left side. Here's a jumper in the lane there by Davis. It's off, no good. Rebound taken down by Long. Long pass down the floor. Gets it over to, I believe it's Stevenson, and Stevenson lays it up and in. So all of a sudden, Wildcats pick up a 5-point lead here with almost halfway through the first period. Sample in the forecourt. Drives, stops, baseline, dicks it outside down to Smith, and there's a pass down on the baseline that's going to be kicked around, and I think they're calling it out on the Tigers.
Yeah, McGee knocked it out.
And the Wildcats substitute here. I'll try to get those in as they become apparent. With it now is Maddox. Maddox will get it across the timeline. Here's a three-point shot by Boswell that is off, but the stick back is up and good. I didn't see who scored the points.
33.
Okay, so that's going to be Maddox. Gets the stick back as well. And the Tigers come down. Here's a three-pointer from a deep corner on the left side. It's off and no good by Davis. And the Wildcats with the rebound. They lead 9-2. They're on the offensive end. Here's a three-pointer from downtown. It's off, no good. Goes over the backboard. Didn't touch anything. And Sample comes down with a rebound. Tigers in the forecourt. J.T. Smith dribbling the ball. Gets it over now to Wilkes. Wheeler Wilkes, a senior. J.T. Smith now in the corner, stolen away. And I don't know whether they called it.
They called it. He dribbled it on the line.
Okay.
He didn't think he did.
I thought he was raised his hand for a foul there for a second, but he wasn't making any motion toward the bench, toward the scoreboard. Now it'll be Tigers basketball. Jackson Burdine, freshman, coming in for the Tigers, first time. And he'll be taking the point guard position. Sample, or rather Smith, Garrett Smith in for the Tigers. And it goes down on the baseline. The loose ball is going to be stolen away by the Wildcats. It was saved to midcourt, and and they're going to say there was a timeout called by Ryan Geyer before. I think he was going to call traveling for a second or a held ball. Instead, they're going to call the timeout, and the Tigers will get a break here. They'll have the ball with 2:28 left to go in the first. They trail 9-2 back in 30 seconds. All right, the Tigers will have it out with 2:28 left to go in the first. They're down by 7. They need a bucket desperately here. Burdine gets the inbounds pass. Dribbles across the timeline. Goes in the left side now, and that's going to be Smith. Outside, here's Wilkes with the long three. It's off, no good. Rebound taken down by Carter Hughes. Across the timeline. Into the forecourt. They get it to Maddox. Maddox drives, bumped in there, loose ball on the floor, scramble, comes out with it. There's Hughes in the corner, and they're going to call him. They're going to call a push-off foul on him. It's going to be on Maddox. And it will be Tiger basketball with 2 minutes flat left to go in the first quarter. Burdine gets the inbounds pass from Smith. Brings it into the forecourt. Back to Garrett Smith on the left side. Here's a monster three from way outside there by Davis. It's going to be off. No good. Rebound taken down, and a whistle and a foul is going to be called on Nathan Nesbitt. That's his first. Hadn't seen Nathan on the floor since last year. Of course, haven't seen any of these guys on the floor since last year, have we?
That's a good observation.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. What are we, about 1 for 10 here in this first
I don't
quarter?
know. We're down 9-2. That's all I know. And there's a pass underneath, and a driving layup rolls off, and a stick back is going to be no good by Gobble as well. And now a whistle and a foul, and I'm thinking that Gobble is going to go to the line. It's going to be on Tanner Davis, his first. How many fouls called? As wild and woolly as this has been. As Gobble going to the line. He's another TJ from that TJ line. First one's off, no good. It's either JT or TJ, you never know. Second shot, it's off, no good. Rebound taken down by Wilkes. Wheeler Wilkes clears the boards, and the Tigers are on the attack. Wilkes dribbles it all the way into the circle. Goes to Burdine. He's on the right wing, dribbling between the legs. Down in the corner now. And stolen away from Smith. Wildcats come up with it. And driving down, going up for a layup was Stevenson, but he bounced past it in the lane. It got batted away and out of bounds underneath the Wildcat basket, left side of the lane. 1:09 left to go in the first period. Wildcats up 9-2. Inbounds to Boswell. Now underneath, the shot is going to be up and blocked, but a whistle and a foul. It looks like
Tanner Davis again.
It's going to be on Tanner Davis, his second. I think he got the ball clean. He just got him with the body. And in case you're wondering, the shooter was TJ Gobble. He's back to the line shooting two. First shot good.
Well, he got position on Tanner too, and created the foul really.
He found the range, and he hit the first shot. Into the game comes Carson Phillips. And back in comes Duke Sample. And he hit the second one as well, so it's 11-2 now. Tigers down by 9, 1 minute flat left in the quarter. Burdine goes in to the right wing trying to connect there with J.T. Smith and overthrows him.
Well, you got to keep your head on a swivel with Jackson because he'll find you. That time we were looking away.
As the Wildcats get it down there's a three-pointer off the head of the key. It's no good. Rebound way outside Alex Bedford. And he gets it over now to Boswell. Here's a three-pointer. It's up and nothing but cotton there by Alex Bedford. Take that back. That's Luke Maddox with the three. And the Tigers come down, almost throw it away, saved it in there. Sample saved it in now to Smith. Now to Burdine. Burdine in the lane, goes in. It's going to go for a layup and had it tapped away, and it's going to be off of his fingertips with 14 seconds left. 14-2. The Fords are wild on the scoreboard. And Boswell, 9 seconds. He's at half court. Long pass. I don't know if they'll get a shot away. Yes, they will from the corner. Yeah. Drained it at the buzzer. Man, they couldn't have timed that better. As going up and scoring the bucket was Gobble. Gobble hits the three, and it's 17-2 now going into the second quarter. Stay with us here on K93. We'll be right back after this 60-second pause. All right, Tigers lost by 15 in the first quarter. They're going to have to figure out a way to bring that back into balance. McGee gets the inbounds pass to go down in the corner. Here's Wilkes for a three off the right side. Can't get it to go. McGee with a rebound. Kicks it outside. Now Davis for the three. It's off and back in the corner. He will dive for the rebound in the corner left side. But they're going to call a foul, I think, on Alex Bedford. Gets a foul. And the Tigers will take it out baseline, left side, right in front of the Tiger cheerleaders. Got to give credit to those young ladies for coming out every night and supporting the Tigers. Tigers work the perimeter. They get it into McGee on the low post left side, about halfway down. Now out to Smith, back to Sample. Wilkes has it now on the left side. Just underway in the second period. Tigers down 17-2. Wilkes takes it down to the baseline, picks it up, goes out to Smith for a three, won't go. Rebound taken down by Bedford. Long down the court pass is received in the corner now. Working with it is Schultz. He'll drive in the paint, kick it off in the corner. Here's a long three-pointer from the corner left side. Maddox, it's off, no good. Rebound was going to be put up and in, and I didn't see the number. I'm going to say that it's Maddox. But it will be. Tiger possession, down 19-2 now. Now they go to Wilkes in the corner. Takes a long three, no good. Rebound fought for. Davis boots it outside now to Smith. Smith lobs it into McGee. McGee back to the goal, kicks it back out to Smith. Now in the corner, another three-pointer. It's off, no good. Tigers can't buy the long shot. With it now is Wilkes. Gets to McGee. McGee turn around, goes in, puts the shot up. They're going to get him for. He's got the basket went. A foul is called. Let's see if he's going to count the basket.
Yeah, that's a flop too. We might want to try to go inside to McGee because we're cold as cold can be from outside, and we just keep firing.
The foul was on the Wildcats. I didn't see who, but there will be Tiger basketball on the inline. As Smith inbounds to Samples. He takes the three. Can't buy it. Off the back rim. Picking it up now is Boswell. Now over to Stevenson. Stevenson in the corner. Long three. It's off, no good. Rebound taken down by Bedford. And the Wildcats go back to the task. They take it underneath, go for the shot. Not going to get the points, but they are going to draw a foul on McGee. That's Caleb's first foul tonight. With 5:48 left to go in the first half, 19-2. Tigers down, having only scored 2 points in the first quarter. On the line, and hitting 1 out of 2 was Long. Rebound fought for, knocked out of bounds, and it will be another foul call. And now it's going to be on Tanner Davis, his third. To the line goes Bedford. First shot's off, no good. Right now they're hitting only about 50% of their free throws, or they'd be up more than 18. First shot's off, no good. Second shot, got it. 21-2 now. Tigers get it out. And across the timeline comes Duke Samples. Over in the corner. Wilkes for three. In and out. Came out. I thought for a second there that Garrett Smith was going to get the rebound, but he got batted away from him out of bounds, and they say it's out on the Tigers. So 5:34 left in the half, 21-2. Driving down, putting up a shot, driving it on the baseline is Stevenson. Boy, that's a pretty move, and he laid it up and in. Didn't use the backboard. Out of Sample. There's a steal at midcourt. Coming up with the steal and going in for the snowbird layup is Cade Schultz. He gets the deuce. That's 25-2. Timeout on the floor. Timeout Tigers, I think. Tigers down a ton. We'll take a 30-second pause and we'll come right back. The center court line there was long, and he looked to pass and then took an extra step, and that's traveling. So the Tigers have it. They go down, and Wilkes takes a three off the rim. Now they warm up. Wilkes gets the three, and it's 25-7. About four of those, you're back in business. Now with it is Long. Down on the baseline to Gobble. Gobble outside now to Schultz. Schultz went in, an NBA-esque drive, laid up a deuce, and he's going to be fouled, and the foul is going to be on Wilkes. That was a pretty nifty move there. As Cade Schultz goes to the line, shooting one, he hit it. We got the three-point play and got back the Tigers' three-pointer. 28-7 now. Tigers go underneath. They get it to Smith, out to Burdine. Burdine's long three is off the mark, and rebound by the Wildcats. Outlet pass down and laying up a two-pointer there is Bedford. He missed it, but he got his own rebound and stuck it back up and in. Now there's timeout on the floor. Timeout Lawrence County with 3:47 left to go in the second. Tigers down. We'll take a 30-second pause. We'll come right back. We are live streaming tonight, and you can sign on to that if you haven't already thought of it. Tigers will take it out following the timeout. They get it to Sample into the forecourt. He passes off, gets it right back. Now to Burdine on the right side. And now going in is Wilkes. Takes a high banker on the left side. He can't get it to go. The ball is hanging on the rim and then falling out. Rebound Wildcats. And they are running into the forecourt. They get it to Boswell. Now to Hughes. It's a long three, NBAS three. It's off, no good. Rebound taken down by the Tigers' Wilkes. And Burdine double teamed at midcourt. Gets the pass off, and now all alone underneath for a layup was Smith, but he couldn't get it off in time and missed it. A Wildcat came back and gave him pressure. Now the Wildcats back on the attack following the rebound. They get it off of Hughes. Now a loose ball on the floor, and they're going to call a charging foul on, I think that's going to be on Blake Long, who is called for a charge just before that loose ball that ended up with a couple of players on the floor. So the Tigers will inbound it. Sample now gets it over to Nesbitt. Burdine trapped in the backcourt, gets it over now. Smith beats the press. Now to McGee. McGee goes in, goes over for the shot. He had it blocked, but a whistle and a foul is going to be called, I'm almost certain, and it's going to be on TJ Gobble. And to the line will go Caleb McGee, who's got 4 points tonight. Of the Tigers, 7 thus far, and he has an opportunity to add to that with 1 or 2 of these, and he missed the first one. I shouldn't have said 1, should I? I should have just said both of these. And he would have hit them both. Got the second one, though. So, 30-8 now. Wildcats facing pressure. They beat the pressure pretty easily. They pass it off and drive it in for the layup. It's up and good by Gobble, and he's fouled.
Yeah, Nesbitt got him from the back, gave him a little shove.
So Nesbitt picks up a foul, and Gobble picks up 2 more. That's a second on Nathan. All right, he missed the free throw. So rebound, loose ball, players all over the floor there, and finally it squirts out. They're going to say it's Tiger basketball. So there you are. Inbounds. Tigers work it up the floor with Sample controlling. Now to Smith. In the corner to Nesbitt for 3. Off the back rim, no good. Burdine with the rebound. Saves it in, but saves it into the hands of Bedford. Bedford down the floor, goes back to Stevenson. Stevenson lays it up and in. It's done that easily. 34-8 now. And now the Tigers come down the floor and try to pass it on the wing. It goes out, touched last by the Wildcats with 1:56 remaining in the second. Burdine inbounds, gets it right back, drives underneath, gets a good pass underneath, and a shot by Phillips was no good. And now he'll go to the line shooting 2. And I think that foul was on Gobble. But Carson Phillips, a junior, first shot from the free throw line is good. 1:51 remaining. As Phillips is on the line, he hit them both and with some style. Tigers got into double figures. That's a start. Stevenson drives in the lane, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Phillips. Down the floor, Burdine to Smith. In the deep corner to Nesbitt. Dangerous pass across the lane is going to be batted away, but the Tigers control going in for a layup is Smith, but he will miss the shot, but he will go to the line. And I think that foul was on Boswell. First shot by Smith is off. J.T. Smith, Jr., listed at 5'10". Second shot, hit the back rim and flew in the net. Good job, good job. So, 34-11. 1:23 left to go in the second period. And the Wildcats are going to throw it away. They slid down the lane with it and try to bounce pass it into the corner, and it's going to be out of bounds, untouched. Give it to the Tigers. Burdine inbounds. Splits a double team. Edmond has it stripped away from him. Going in for the layup, following the steal is Long, and Blake Long picks up a 2 right there. And the Tigers come back down the floor with 1 minute left to go in the half. Back they go to Smith. Now to Burdine on the left wing to Smith. Burdine's quick pass underneath to Phillips, and that Phillips gets an easy layup, but it's because Burdine gave him a nifty pass underneath. Long on the left wing, steal by Phillips, loose ball. Smith comes up with it. Outlet pass now to Sample. Sample stops outside the circle. Smith for 3, in and out, no good. Phillips with the rebound, gets it out to Nesbitt. Back into Phillips. He drives in, and they're going to call him for charging, backing into a Wildcat player. And I don't know about that one.
He got his elbow up, but
21 and a half seconds left. Tigers down 36-13. Inbound to Schultz. Full court pressure being applied here by the Tigers. 14 seconds into the full court. Down in the corner, Long 3, rims out, no good. Rebound's going to be picked up by Schultz with 5 seconds left. He dribbles to the left, guns up, I think a 2-pointer. It's off, no good. And the horn will expire before, or the period will expire before a shot can be taken. And that will be your halftime score, 36-13. Lawrence County Wildcats right now in the driver's seat here in the second game of the night. Lady Tigers fall 55-25 in the opener. And we are learning the game of basketball tonight, no question about it.
Well, you know, it's pretty amazing that we're at home and neither the girls team or the guys tonight can put it in the basket. I mean, it's just, it's not just threes, it's layups.
We've had good looks.
Good looks, yeah, just can't get them to fall. But, you know, Lawrence County, again, they're kind of like their girls team. They're really aggressive. They want you to really start your offense early. They come out and trap you as soon as you go across a timeline. And we're a little slow getting into our offense. In other words, we're letting them come to us and dictate what we want to do instead of splitting them and getting our offensive going.
Right.
But, you know, that's a learning curve, too. There's a lot of youth out there, and there's a lot of guys out there playing that hadn't started a lot of basketball games. They play,
and you
but
got some that just walked on the court today that have been in football.
Well, yeah, you got a couple out there that was playing football last Friday night, and I know they're getting kind of gassed, too.
I don't know how long Orange County's been out of the football chase, but maybe that could be part of the difference. But there's some bright spots. We're getting the looks, we're getting the shots, we're just not getting them to fall. So that's something that will come with time, and the Tigers have got brighter sunrises to come. 36-13 halftime score. We'll take a pause here for a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back here on K93, your number one sports station in Savannah. All right, running down the scoring for the early game tonight. The Lady Tigers fall 55-25. The high score for the Tigers tonight was a two, and Callie Jo Ramsey had 2, and I think that about wraps it up. And one of the things I noticed here that Reese did not get on the scoreboard tonight, which is that's something that will change, I'm sure, dramatically in the future. So the Lady Tigers fall, and the truth is right now the Tigers aren't faring a whole lot better against 2 pretty tough basketball teams. At halftime now, the Tigers' leading scorer is Kayla McGee with 5. And then Carson Phillips came off the bench and scored 4. Lulu Wilkes has 3. J.T. Smith has 1. And that's about all she wrote. Leading scorer right now for Lawrence County is Luke Maddox with 10. And he's followed by T.J. Gobble with 7 and several other with lesser numbers. What do you expect to see any change in defensive posture or maybe offensive scheme going into the second half?
Well, I was just sitting here thinking about, what you were saying in the scoring. It seems like that, our goal coming in to tonight, we wanted to shoot the threes, and they're not following. And, it's basketball. You have nights like that. Some nights you hit everything you look at. And so far, it's been tough going for us from the three-point land. Now, do we have an inside game? Because, you got to remember, your big guy, Caleb, this is probably his first or second time he's touched the floor since football season.
Yeah.
That was just a couple of days ago. You got Carter Smith. I think he's a little bit under the weather. He's here and dressed out, but he's another big body inside. But
I haven't seen Tylen Irvin.
Yeah, Tylen's out there, and he'll get his opportunity. And maybe they just don't want to push him tonight either. He was our running back, had a really good game Friday night, but he got hit hard too a few times. So
he may have some bumps and bruises that need to heal.
And they all do that played, but I don't know. Coach Geyer's philosophy was that they thought that they had some pretty good shooters from outside. They want to try it that way, but I will say this: Lawrence County has a lot to do with that. Like I said, they're really overplaying. They're aggressive. They're trying to get us trapped. They're making us start our offense way before we want to, and it's causing problems.
The thing that I'll say I noticed is it looked to me like we had balanced, open shots that didn't require a great deal of moves to get open. They're just not connected.
Well,
they're catching the rim early, or they're going a little bit hard, and I don't think it's due so much to the defense as it is we're just cold from the field.
Well, a lot of times when your inside game's not present yet, that they don't have to really respect that part, so they can push you out a little bit further. You get that going, then they have to sag back inside.
And there were some shots taken for 3 that were way deep. And,
it works both ways. You want to play inside out most of the time to create openings. I haven't seen a lot of set plays that we're doing. We're just a lot of motion. Defensively, they played well. They've kind of beat us on the inside. They look like a team that has played a couple of games. We look like a team that this is our first night out. And so from that end, like I said, the more aggressive teams sometimes, especially in sports, they'll usually create problems. Defensively, I just think we just need to get back on defense, number one. Seems like a couple of times we got lost. And like I said, that's youth out there too, and an inexperience. So, it'll get better.
Absolutely. 36-13, the halftime score. We'll take a quick pause for a word from our sponsors. We'll come back with the tip-off for the third period. Stay with us. Looks like the Wildcats will have the basketball to begin this third period of play. Heading out to midcourt, Blake Long to inbound it, followed by Caleb McGee, listed at 6'4" this year. Inbound, Wildcats start offense with Boswell. Here's a three-pointer off the left wing. It's up and good.
Wide open shot, too.
And that was Maddox, who now has 13. And across the timeline comes Sample running. He'll stop. Airmail it down into the corner. Now on the left side, Sample for three. Got it this time. Maybe that warm-up will help. Maybe they'll like this north end goal. Here's a pass underneath to a wide-open Stevenson, though, that can't happen a lot if you're playing to win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're not getting back. We're getting lost.
And the Tigers work it up the floor against the pressure. They get it down to McGee at the head of the key, and there's a long three-pointer off, no good by Wilkes. Rebound is going to be slapped around, a whistle and a foul called against the Tigers.
That's three.
It's going to be on. That's his fourth.
Oh, it's his fourth.
Tanner Davis picks up his fourth foul. Into the game for him comes Jackson Burdine. I like to spell it with an X, Jackson. So the Wildcats work it up the floor. Under 7 minutes here in the third period on the wing, and a shot up and no good by Stevenson. Rebound taken down by Wilkes. Wilkes gets it out now. Sample snatches it away from a Wildcat and gets it down to Burdine. Cross court to J.T. Smith. Now Burdine backs it up to the Tiger. Tigers in white. Lawrence County in purple and gold. Now the Sample out. Now Wilkes will take a three. Back rim won't go. Burdine with the rebound. Passes it off to McGee. McGee spins, fires. Shots blocked, but a whistle and a foul is going to put Caleb McGee on the line.
That's a good look by Jackson. Also a good move by Caleb, too. Spinning in the lane, getting a foul.
I think that's going to be on long, and it will be McGee's. He's 2 for 5 right now from the free throw line. First shot is. Did he hit that?
He did.
Okay. First shot's good, and we'll go for another. Keep waiting on the scoreboard to update, and they didn't update. I could swear I saw it go through. Got them both. So now, McGee is 4 from 7 on the free throw line. And Wildcats come down the floor. Long three-pointer up from the corners. No good. Rebound taken down by Smith. Outlet to Sample, and he'll pass it right into the hands of Boswell. Outlet pass underneath. Going in for the layup. Easy layup is Luke Maddox. He gets 2 more. And it's 42-18 with 5:46 left to go. And J.T. Smith brings it across the timeline. Goes down in the corner to Sample. Duke Sample passes it out, but stolen away. And finally taken in the lane on the loose ball by McGee. McGee goes up for the shot. It's no good. But the foul is going to be on Maddox, his second. And Caleb McGee will go back to the charity stripe. Missed the first one this time. Sample sits down. In comes Garrett Smith. The second one's up and good. And McGee with 8 points tonight. Drops back on defense. 43-19 the score. Down by 24. Not insurmountable, but a pretty dark corner. There's a press. They get it across the timeline. Now a steal picked up there by Samples, or rather Smith. And finally, coming up with it is Smith. He comes across the lane, loses it, has it stripped away, taken off to the races, and down for the shot is Stevenson. Shot's no good, but he's fouled. And the foul is going to be on Garrett Smith. So, Jacoby Stevenson is going in for 2 free throws. The clock stopped at 5:05. Missed the first one. Missed the second one. Rebound. Smith had it, but it's tapped out. They're going to say it was touched last by Boswell. Give it to the Tigers. Backcourt baseline. 5:02 left to go in the third. Down 43-19. Burdine beats the press single-handedly. Gets on the left wing. Splits a double team. Gets it over to Smith. Smith to Smith. Back to Smith. Underneath to McGee. He missed the layup. Got the follow. It's up and good. And he's fouled. I guess he's kind of happy now that he missed the first shot now.
That's a good play by Caleb. He's battling in there now.
Foul is on Hughes. McGee is guaranteed double figures here.
Yeah,
They missed the free throw, though.
that's on you.
Thank you. Across the timeline, the Wildcats. Get it over to long
He walked.
to Stevenson. They got a travel right there. I like how quickly you picked that up. You did that really well. Don't expect many compliments. So, Tigers have it in the backcourt following the 4 mistake with 4:33 left to go third. Down by 22 now. Burdine dribbles in, caught out on the right wing to McGee. McGee kicks it in the corner now to Wilkes. Back to McGee, back to Wilkes. He drives, banks it, hits it. Nice shot by Wheeler Wilkes. He now has 5 on the night. Long pass down the floor. They get it under to Stevenson, and he lays it up and in. They get it right back.
Snowbird that's on that one.
I mean, he's caught us with our britches about halfway down. Burdine bounce pass between a double team. Gets it on the left wing now to Smith. Back outside. Has Garrett. Smith has it momentarily. Now to Burdine. Takes a long 3. It's off the back rim. Tapped away by McGee. Picked up by Smith. He goes in. Banks it up and in. Nice shot. Yeah, nice shot by J.T. Smith. He's got 3 now. And we've cut the lead to 20. 3:30 left to go. Third period. Stranger things have happened than come back here. Here's a shot off, no good by the Wildcats. Rebound picked up by Wheeler. Wilkes, that is. Wilkes splits a double team, loses the ball, finally gets it over now to Burdine at the midcourt. Burdine will take it toward the lane, stop, go back outside to Smith. Now to Burdine in the lane, stop. Thought he was going to take the shot, instead pumped it out for a 3-pointer by J.T. Smith. He cans that one. And it's 45-28. Wildcats in the forecourt on the perimeter now. To Schultz. Underneath, and bounce pass is going to be thrown completely out of bounds, not touched by anyone. Give it to the Tigers. J.T. Smith takes the inbounds pass. Will work one-on-one up the floor. Finally gets it to Burdine, who moves it past the timeline. The Tigers setting up shop. Burdine out to Smith. Smith takes a pick from Burdine, rolls left. Quick pass inside now to Smith. Now outside to JT. It's off, no good. As he takes a little jumper there off the line. Wildcats with the rebound. Down the floor they go, and Stevenson blocked defensively there by Smith. Garrett Smith saved the basket there and got the steal, and will be fouled on the way back down the floor. Was that a foul? It looked like he indicated one, but I didn't see a number. Anyway, the Tigers have the basketball with 1:56 left to go in the third. Down 45-28, needing basket here desperately. J.T. Smith into the forecourt to Wheeler Wilkes. Wilkes backs up, then advances, gets it over to Burdine. Now to Garrett Smith, left side. To J.T., to Garrett, stops, looks for a pick, can't get it, gets it back outside to Wilkes. Now to McGee, low post, left side, out to Wilkes for three, in and out. Burdine with the rebound. He's going to go down the lane or down the baseline, and he's going to be fouled there. And that's going to be on Long, his third. Not a shooting foul, only 4 team fouls. Give it to Burdine, in to McGee. McGee just lays it over the lip of the rim. To me, that sounds like the ticket in this here basketball game. But it's a 15-point lead now. Tigers have whittled it down. 1:07 left to go in the third. There is still time. Bedford has it, left wing. Here's a long three. It's going to be off, no good. Orange County's guns have quieted quite a bit. Now a shot forced up by Long is going to fall, and they're going to say he was fouled in the process. And that's going to be on Caleb McGee, his second. And to the line goes Long. His first shot is up, or his free throw's up and good. 48-30 now. Burdine dribbles across with 49 seconds left to go in the third. Penetrates the lane, drives, puts it off the glass. Got it, yes.
That looked good there.
Nice driving layup by Jackson Burdine, and it's 48-32. Tigers showing some signs of life. McGee gets a steal on the defensive end, gets it over, and the Tigers back on the attack. Driving in the lane goes Wilkes, into trouble, had it booted away, finally picked up, and a three-pointer taken off of the left side by Smith. Garrett Smith is no good. Rebound is Stevenson in the corner. He'll drive it up the floor. Goes in the corner on the left side. It's batted away there, I think, by Burdine and picked up by Samples. Samples into the forecourt. Tigers with another opportunity. Down to Wilkes in the corner for three. In and out. But right there for the rebound of Samples at the buzzer, and he can't get a shot off. So that's the end of the third period, 48-32. Tigers trail, but making progress here. We'll be back in 1 minute. RQ1, I'm going to be the kind, benevolent statesman. Hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast of Hardin County High School basketball. If you just joined us a few moments ago, you probably don't know the Lady Tigers fall 55-25 in the opener tonight. But that the men Tigers are right now in beginning the fourth period, trailing 48-32, and we have the basketball to boot. So 8 minutes set on the clock. The Tigers have got that length of time to offset this lead. There's a steal on the inbounds pass. Long takes it down, goes in for a layup, missed it. McGee gets the rebound. He gets it out to Burdine. Burdine running. Stops right wing. Back to McGee, head of the key. Now with it is Tanner Davis. Crosses the lane. Passes it down in the corner now to J.T. Smith. Goes through his hands out of bounds. Hit somebody sitting down there on the bleachers. But it will be Wildcat basketball. As they come down the floor, a jumper from 3 is off and no good by Schultz. And the Tigers get the rebound. Burdine coming out with it. Heading down the floor. Goes in the corner now. And gets it back over to Wilkes. Wilkes now to J.T. Smith on the left side. He's dribbling back to Davis. Tanner Davis stops, puts up a jumper, got it. Playing with 4 fouls. He's got to be careful, but he came off the bench and put 2 in the hole. Here's a steal. Davis goes for a steal at midcourt. Almost got it, but it will trail out of bounds. Give it to the Wildcats with 6:51 left to go in this contest. Bedford has it. Now to Maddox. Driving down and putting up the shot for the 2, which is good, is Schultz. Foul's going to be on Wilkes this second. Into the line for the 3-point play is Cade Schultz. And he hit it. So he gets the 3-point play. He's 3 for 8 from the line tonight. And he has 8 points. Take that back. That's not right. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He has 8 points. Had the wrong column there. Tigers take it out in the backcourt. Down 51-34. And Burdine hops and skips his way down the line on the dribble and has it knocked out of bounds. I think touched last by the Wildcats. Was that a foul?
No.
That's what I thought. Heard him making the announcement. I thought he was calling out a foul. Inbounds to Wilkes. Back to Burdine on the left wing in the corner. Now to Wilkes, who's come full circle right next to him. Now to McGee. McGee in the lane, little right-handed hook, won't go. Rebound taken down by the Wildcats. Coming out is Maddox. Maddox down the floor, stop. 12-foot jumpers off, no good. And ball batted out of bounds, touched last by the Wildcats. They claim that Blake Long touched it last. And they're going to give it to the Tigers' backcourt. Having trouble getting it in, and they will throw it away. It's going to be taken there. And a long 3-point shot. I'm sure ill-advised by Schultz. It's off no good. Tigers with the rebound on the fast break. Down with it is Wilkes. He has it stripped away past the end line, and they're going to give it to the Tigers with just under 6 minutes left to play. 5:54. Tigers trail 51-34. They can do some serious damage with a couple of trips down the floor that are successful. McGee, turn around, layup, or a little hook shot. Baby hook, laid it up and in. Caleb McGee gets his 14th point. 51-36. We're down to 15 points difference. There's a steal. J.T. Smith comes out with it, drives in, puts it off the glass. He got it, yes. I thought he might draw a foul too, but he didn't get the call. But like I said, a couple of trips like that, and you're back in business. Boswell. Double teamed at midcourt to Stevenson. Down underneath and driving wide open. A layup is put up and in by T.J. Gobble. He's got 9 tonight. And it's 53-38. Timeout on the floor. Timeout Tigers. 5:12 left to go in the fourth. We'll take this pause. We'll come back in 1 minute. So, Steve and I starting another run of basketball games after we just got finished wrapping up a long football season. You know, you do pretty good for an old man.
I appreciate that. I feel like an old man somehow or another right now.
And I'm old enough to know the difference. So the Tigers will take it out following the timeout. They get it into J.T. Smith. He'll dribble up the floor. He's in trouble. Picks it up. He's trapped. He's going to have some help. He gets it down to Burdine. Lost it. That's picked up loose. Now Burdine picks it back up. The Tigers are back on the attack. In the corner they go. Oh, and the Tigers cannot catch a pass. That one went into the corner of Wilkes. He mishandled it. Now there's a held ball, I think, down on the floor there, and it's going to be Wildcat possession. So, long pass down to Stevenson. Drives in, feigns a layup, fades away, and scores. He's fouled.
How many of those they've had tonight? Just
too many, if you ask me.
Throwing right over the top of the defense.
That's the third on McGee. Stevenson going for the three-point play here. Got it. He has 13 tonight. That's not a bad night for anybody. 4:51 left to go. Tigers running out of time. They're going to have to do some magnificent things between now and the end. J.T. Smith. The Burdine. Burdine kicks it out in the corner. And I think that's Wilkes. Wilkes in the lane, puts up a jumper from about 8, missed it, got his own rebound. Smith to Burdine. Burdine giving a 3, won't take it. Stops his dribble on the right side, goes back to J.T. Smith. Smith rolls left, down in the corner now, Wilkes. Stopped baseline and stolen away by Stevenson. Stevenson's got some quick hands and runs like crazy. Gets it down and then kicks it down in the corner on the left side. And now there's a whistle and a what?
It's a walk.
Oh, it's walk. Well, I thought maybe it was a 3-second or something.
No,
I did not see him travel, but I'm going to trust that he did. It will be Tiger basketball. And J.T. Smith will dribble down for said Tigers. He gets it off on the head of the key, goes right wing now. With it is Garrett Smith, or rather Sample. Yeah, now they're going to call traveling on Burdine as he took a stutter step after he made his move, and that'll get one for you every time. Just under 4 minutes to go. Tigers down by 18. Here's a driving shot's no good. McGee gets the rebound and runs the floor, goes all the way down, lays it off the glass, scores. McGee picks up his 16th point. And now it's a 16-point game. I miscalculated. I told you that math was too hard for me. And there's an outlet pass, a clear pass under to Stevenson. He's got a wide open layup and gave that 2 back very quickly. Can't do that. And we just threw it away. Getting the steal now and going down is Maddox. Maddox goes under, misses the shot, fight for the rebound, coming up with it, and it's Wilkes, or rather Sample. Sample gets it out to Burdine. Burdine takes it in the lane. A hook shot on the right side, laid it up and in. Nice play by Jackson Burdine. He's got 4 tonight.
He's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable right now.
You know, he's out there with a bunch of seniors. He's doing a pretty good job. Down there, Stevenson on the right side for a 3. It's off, no good. Coming in and slapping it out there was Gobble. And now there's a whistle and a foul, I think, that is going to send Cade Schultz to the line. And the foul's on Sample. That's only his first. But Smith goes to the line shooting 2. First shot is good. So Schultz with 9 so far tonight and has a chance to do double figures here with this next free throw. Tigers down by 17 but running out of seconds. It's up and good. So, into the game comes Tyler Irvin. Now they get it in the corner. That's going to be to Carter Smith. Carter tries to pass it under to Nesbitt. It's going to be right into the hands of Bedford. Bedford gets it down, and a layup's going to be affected by Alex Bedford as he gets two there on the fast break. And the Tigers gone to substitutes, and down in the corner here's a three-point shot off and no good by Carter Smith. And a whistle and a foul is going to be called. And that's going to be on Schultz, I think. Since the officials here do not care if we see what numbers they hold up.
What did they call? 5 seconds?
I don't know. Somehow or other, the Wildcats have got the ball back.
Yeah, he held up 5 fingers, so that was a quick 5 seconds.
Take it down the floor. 1:49 now. And with it is Boswell. Left side of Bedford. Ben Benson in the game for the Tigers. And a foul is going to be assessed on the Tigers. That's on Tyler Irvin, his first. No damage there. To the line, shooting two is Aiden Hughes. The first one's good. The second one, I am sure, is forthcoming. And he drained it. And it's Tiger basketball with 1:29 remaining. Stolen away by the Wildcats on the offensive end. Back down is Alex Bedford. And he's going to get knocked to the floor by Irvin. I don't know. I didn't see the collision, but it took him no time to get to the hardwood. So Irvin picks up another foul there. And back to the line go the Wildcats. Shot up and no good by Bedford. Rebound Wildcats, driving and jumping her is up and good. And this one's going to be on number 23. That's going to be on Boswell, yeah. So Boswell picks up two there. We're under a minute now, almost. Now left side now to Carter Smith. And the ball's batted away there. I'm thinking by Schultz. It's out of bounds on him. Give it to the Tigers with 55.5 seconds remaining. And now there is timeout on the floor for wholesale substitution.
He's going to clean it out.
And Tigers will probably do the same thing. They're going to put Carson Phillips back in the game. Right now, Ben Benson's on the floor along with Carter Smith, as I said, and Nathan Nesbitt and Tylen Irvin. Irvin dribbling on the right side. Looks down the baseline to Phillips. Phillips in the lane, puts up a shot, block. Rebound taken down by the Wildcats, and they're running. 37 seconds. Down in the corner to the left side, wanting to go for three instead. Brings it back across the court. Now going underneath was Colton Tucker. There's going to be a whistle and a foul call, and I think it's going to be on Carter Smith. But stopping the clock with 25 seconds, and Tucker Colton on the line, shooting two. First shot's good. 67-42. Crowd is thinned out on both sides of the gym. Missed the second free throw. Tigers get the rebound. I'm thinking Phillips got that rebound. 16 seconds. Irvin drives in the lane, puts a shot up. I think it's partially blocked, but a whistle and a foul is going to put Irvin to the line with 12 seconds remaining. Colton Tucker, I think, gets the personal, but at this point in time, it doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to foul out at this point. .7 remaining. Irvin's first shot is off. No good. He is going to be gunning for his first point of the season with this free throw if he can hit it. Missed it. Rebound, Wildcats. Don't get to shoot too many free throws in football. 5 seconds. They're going to stand and hold the ball and let it run out. And that's going to be your final score, 67-42. And the Lady Tigers and Tigers go down to defeat tonight at the hands of Lawrence County. But we'll get another shot at them and over on their side. And you never can tell what will happen. This is the beginnings of, I think, a pretty good basketball team if they can just sew all these broken parts that aren't working right now together, and when they do, they're going to be formidable, I believe.
Yeah, it's the first game, and it's not going to get any easier on Thursday night with Tishomingo coming in. They got a really good girls team, and they'll be really good typically on the guys' side as well. So be another good test, but you learn from it. You talk about it tomorrow, and then make your adjustments.
The entire season is practice for the district.
Yeah.
And so if you can come out of a game and you get better the next game, then that's your goal.
Yeah.
And even if you fall back, you can one step back, you can get two steps forward the next time you go out and play. So that's where we're headed is the end of January, first part of February.
Yeah, you want to, Thursday night comes, you want to see a lot of improvement, both teams. And you saw some things tonight. And really and truly, you're trying to get a feel for who's going to help you as you go through this journey, this first part of the season. Who's really going to help you when you get into district play and, things change and get in the district, get into better teams and things like that. But, both coaches are trying to figure out who they can trust and who they're going to be able to put on the floor that it's going to help us win later on down the road. This is what this is about. This is just one game, first game of the year. And then we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see what happens Thursday, to see how much improvement from tonight till Thursday.
You can't
night.
expect a whole lot of improvement between now and Thursday, but I think you will see a much more stable group working together better. And it might take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month for them to start to peak out. But I think there's a lot of talent there. I was really impressed with Jackson Burdine tonight. Thought he did a really good job. Kayla McGee, not having had any practice to speak of, did a solid job inside. So
leadership.
Yeah. Again, the whole Tiger team did well. They just couldn't put together enough organization to protect the easy baskets that Lawrence County was getting.
But you mentioned Jackson, and think back to the start of this game when he came in to the end of this game in the second half, and you could see him you could see him get a little bit more comfortable with
and confident,
with his surroundings. Now, he's going to have to learn, and I can remember a young Nathan Caldwell. He came in with a lot of height with him, with the way he could shoot the basketball, and he could shoot the basketball. But I can remember his first night where it was just like Jackson. He was open. He just didn't think he was open, and he learned that, you don't have a whole lot of space when you get up here at this level. So he'll learn that. His dad will probably talk to him tonight as well. And Coach Geyer will show him, and hey, if you're open, fire it up. We want you shooting. So he'll learn that. That's a process.
Yeah, it's always good to see a freshman on the floor no matter what. So that is a good thing for the Tigers. I better go through this scoring so you can get home and get some beauty sleep. Mm-hmm. You need it.
Yeah.
All right. for Lawrence County, the leading scorer was Luke Maddox with 15 points. And these are all unofficial, of course. Cade Schultz had 10. T.J. Gobble had 9. Blake Long had 8. Alex Bedford had 5. And there were a couple of other Wildcats that scored. For the Tigers tonight, the leading scorer was Caleb McGee with 16 points. Good night. And J.T. Smith with 8. Wheeler Wilkes with 5. Duke Samples with 3. Tanner Davis with 2. Jackson Burdine with 4. And Carson Phillips with 4. So, we spread the scoring across the board, and all we got to do is just elevate those numbers, and we'll be in the driver's seat. So, ladies fall 55-25 in the early game. Tigers fall 67-42 in the nightcap. Unless you got something else, that's about all I got.
No, that's we'll see you Thursday night.
All right, for Steve Carnell, my good friend Steve Smith, this is Bill Sharp saying good night, Tiger fans.